Hey everybody, hope you are enjoying wrapping up your study of Mark this week and ready to get into the Gospel of Luke. Luke affords us a unique opportunity among the Synoptic Gospels and the Gospels in general because it is the only one of the Gospels that has a sequel. So oftentimes you will hear scholars refer to not Luke or Acts, but Luke Acts, Luke-Acts. So these two books are tied together thematically, and what Luke starts in the Gospel of Luke, he contends in the book of Acts. So that will be one thing to consider, even as you just focus on Luke this week. If you have in your responses to discussion posts or assignments references to Acts, I will be very pleased to see you making those connections. So Luke and Acts should be considered together. I hope you will at least start thinking that direction this week. Also with Luke, I have my big picture idea, still working on this and will work on it throughout my life, but in my Bible, my Greek New Testament, I have here a summary of what I think Luke is really all about. So I have, just at the end of the Gospel here, this book is about the assurance that God's kingdom promises have been fulfilled through Jesus Christ and that the new age of the Spirit has dawned. And this, in many ways, will continue on into the book of Acts as well. But note in the way Luke introduces his gospel, he writes these things to Theophilus so that he might have assurance of the things he's been taught. You'll see language like, it is necessary, or this must happen. It's the same word in Greek. It is day, it must happen, it has to be this way. He is writing so that Theophilus might know for sure. Zacharias, when he is given this promise about the birth of John the Baptist, the angel Gabriel tells him that you might know for certain, that you might know for sure. This all fits together into a theme for Luke of assurance. You will be considering this week also the Holy Spirit, rich and poor, and Jerusalem. These are three concepts that are actually intimately tied together. When the Holy Spirit is given, we treat the poor a different way. The Holy Spirit is given from Jerusalem. Note that Luke's Gospel ends with Jesus' ascension from Jerusalem, and then the book of Acts also begins with the ascension again, as if Luke has to remind you of the importance of that. And then the disciples go into Jerusalem, and they are promised the Holy Spirit would come to them. So lots of things to consider with these ideas: Jerusalem, Holy Spirit, role of rich and poor, what that looks like in God's program that is now a new age through Christ. So I hope you will enjoy studying this gospel. I would also like to just make a recommendation of a book that is one of the best books on biblical theology that I've ever read, and that is Darrell Bock's Theology of Luke and Acts. It is worth every penny of its price and more, so I highly recommend that. Theology of Luke and Acts by Darrell Bock. It's in the Zondervan series that has been coming out in recent years on biblical theology of the New Testament. So would highly recommend that. It will help you fit these books together and see how they cohere, how Luke and Acts cohere with one another. So hope you'll enjoy studying Luke, and let me know if you have any questions.